Hi, I'm Tiffany Thompson. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the Associate Director for Gender and Sexuality Initiatives and the Program Manager for the Women's Resource Center. So Swarthmore has a really long history of supporting the LGBTQ community going back to the 70s, if not, actually probably going back way before that, but as far as we know, as far as we have archived. And you could even go to the library, McCabe, and they have a whole section about the history of LGBTQ, or gay Swarthmore, as they call it, where they've always had a place, they've always stood up, and they've always fought for what, for their visibility. There was a group called the Gay Student Group, and they started just having visibility and teaching the campus about that. Now we've moved on to making sure that we support our trans and gender nonconforming community through bathroom accessibility, pronoun trainings, even making sure that when you go on Banner or My Swarthmore, you can go in and put your pronouns and your gender identity there so that it trickles through across the campus so people know. We also have Pride Month, which is in the world right now in June, but at Swarthmore we have it in October. And we have a Pride committee of students who plan events throughout the month and put out various fun and also educational events, bring in some interesting speakers, and just celebrate the queerness and transness that is Swarthmore. I always say that Swarthmore is the queerest institution because it is not just a place that is full of LGBTQ plus students, but also a place that is just welcoming and supportive. Two really great programs that I want to highlight is CAMP, which is our Kinfolk Affirmation Mentor Program, and also SQUAD. And both of those come through the Intercultural Center through the Gender and Sexuality Initiatives. So SQUAD, which stands for Swarthmore Queer Advocate Development, is a series of educational workshops and trainings that provides a foundation for folks who are new to the LGBTQ plus community, or are not new but just want to make sure that they're up to date. It's a constant, the community is constantly changing, and we offer that. And when you go through it, you'll get a little certificate so that you can hang in your office so that folks know that you are going through these trainings, or you have gone through this training, and that you are an ally. And CAMP is an amazing mentor program. It's only been around for a couple years, but we match up students with either faculty, staff, or alumni, and that just is a mentor. And they do it for a year, and we have socials and mixers to get to know each other, but they often just meet on their own and build these strong relationships. It's really great. I love hearing the stories of how they didn't know that alumni said they didn't think they would have anything in common with a young student, but they did, and now they've built these strong relationships that will help them move on into the future. Another program that has just started that is a collaboration between the Intercultural Center and the WRC is a trans support group, which is called Trans at SWAT, which is fairly new, but it's a growing population, it's a growing group that is intended to not just provide a space of support, but also to advocate for trans visibility, trans rights, pronouns, gender affirming, all of those things, and also for gender non-conforming folks and non-binary people. When I came into higher ed to do LGBTQ work, it was just to be that person who they see sitting behind the desk, who looks like them or has similarities and things that we like or want to talk about. You know, we want to talk about LGBTQ things, or to be in a space where people are just not going to assume that they're straight and just feel at home. And also as a woman and as a Black woman, I want to make sure that it's not just one vision of what sexuality is, or one representation of what gender is, that we all can fit into this rainbow, right? It's why it's called a rainbow, and we all have a place there. And I love that, Philadelphia is right outside of Swarthmore, and we were the city that added the black and brown stripes to the gay flag to just for that intention, so that we know that there's an intersectionality, that you can be queer, trans, but also be a person of color, also be someone who comes from different experiences, but that we all are part of this strong community. if you are a prospective student and you're asking yourself, why would I want to come to Swarthmore? Well, if you are part of the LGBT community, you want to come because, as I said, this place is very queer. It is very supportive and opening. It has a very large community, not just of students, but also of staff and faculty who are here to support you and to celebrate you. We will make sure that you find a home here and that you leave celebrating with our Lavender Celebration, which happens at when you graduate, where we celebrate our seniors and give them lavender cords that they can walk across the stage with to tell the rest of the world that, you know, again, we're here, we're queer, we're graduating, and I'm a Swatty, I'm a queer Swatty, and, you know, nothing can stop you then.